Hi guys, welcome back to Flora Fun and Food. My name is Lauren and today I am going to tackle the plant room. I have let it get a little chaotic. I went out of town for about 2 weeks and my mom watered it while I was gone, but I came back about a week ago and I still haven't watered it, so it's definitely in need of a watering. I need to trim off some dead leaves. I need to clean some shelves. I need to find places for things that have outgrown their space since I left. So we're going to tackle that today. It's been on my to-do list for a long time and it's just a little overwhelming, but I finally have the motivation to get it started and get it done, hopefully. So let's get into it. So before we get into cleaning, I want to give you kind of a before. You can see these staghorns here definitely need to be watered. Look how droopy and sad that one is. This is Big Bertha. She's my pride and joy, but she is kind of outgrowing her space. I don't know if I'll have the energy to deal with her today, but she definitely needs something, maybe a pole or a change of area. There are plants tucked away back there that definitely need a good watering. This is Big Bertha's sister. She doesn't have a name, but she's my Thai constellation, Monstera, and she has a new leaf. If you can see back there by the window, that's exciting. But everything in here needs a good watering. These shelves need a good cleaning. There's just dead leaves and debris kind of on every shelf. I have staghorn ferns just waiting to be mounted. They're on the floor. That staghorn definitely looks droopy and sad. Then I have things up top that are touching the ceiling. I have, see that yellow leaf there? I have dead leaves on things that need to be pruned. I have my staghorn fern project mess still in the middle of the floor. I have unpotted plants in nursery pots that just need a home. I have some plants that either came out of a space that they were outgrowing, or like this one here I suspect has spider mites, so which means I'm going to treat things that are near it just in case. I know this one has spider mites. See the damage there? That is spider mite damage. Okay. Then I have these beasts. They have outgrown their shelf. They're growing above and like kind of out around the grow lights. Then I have this massive vine that is just making its home back up in there and back out. So it needs to find a new place to live. These shelves need a good cleaning. Everything needs a good watering. And the whole room just kind of needs an overhaul so that I can sit in here and enjoy it like I want to. The whole point of this room is to relax, but I can't relax if it is in this state. So let's get started. Let's clean this mess up and enjoy the plant room once again. So to get started, I decided to clean up my staghorn fern project mess because it was in the way of everything. And so I got the table out of there and it gave me just a lot more space to work in. And then I just moved any kind of random plants that didn't have a spot. And then this is how I water my staghorn ferns. These three are still in their nursery pots, and so I just hang these on my cabinet doors, and then I soak the nursery pot and the mounted ones in the moss ball in bowls or buckets just like this. I let them sit and soak while I went to clean up other things. They can soak for, up to a couple hours if you forget about them like I often do, just as long as you let them drip dry. After that, I started cleaning out each shelf, and I put the plants on these little boot mats or shoe mats, but like I said in a previous video, I don't like how flimsy they are, so it was kind of a struggle to get them out of my wagon. But once I had all the plants removed, I vacuumed every shelf and then started spraying glass cleaner, top, bottom, sides, everywhere, inside the door, and I even clean off the lights because sometimes they just get kind of like water spots and things like that, and they just aren't as efficient. So this took a while, but I wanted to make sure that while the plants were out, I gave it a good thorough cleaning.
down taking some of the stands off of the pots just to make it easier. And I have a kitchen full of plants. I started to get hot, so I had to put my hair up in a bun so I could continue working. This cabinet from a store that was going out of business. They use it as their trophy case, and so I got a really good deal on it. And the only thing I don't like about it is that the doors are hard to clean, because to take the doors off you have to remove the whole top, and so to clean the outer doors inside panel, if that makes sense, I have to push it to one side, spray the back, clean about half of it, then I switch the doors and spray the other inside half and clean that. It's time to squeeze out some of the excess water from the staghorns before setting them aside to just let them drip dry for a little while. While those dry, I am going to get my watering cans ready for the plant room. I typically add something called liquid dirt to my water. It's just an all-purpose fertilizer that comes in this tiny little pack, and all you do is add a cup of water to that pack, and it makes a really strong concentrate that you then only pour like a teaspoon or a tablespoon, I think, into a gallon of water, and then you add just a couple of tablespoons of that now mix into your watering cans. And so it's kind of expensive when you see how small it is, but when you realize how little you actually use each time, it will last you forever. I also use something called Azamax. This is the only thing that I have found that works to actually kill and get rid of and prevent spider mites. I have tried everything. I've tried neem oil, horticultural oil, predatory mites, ladybugs, systematic granules, everything under the sun. I have tried. I've rinsed each leaf. I have used alcohol and Dawn dish soap. I have used Castile peppermint soap. I literally have tried it all, you guys, and this stuff is the only thing that works. It doesn't have a harsh smell, and it also comes in this concentrated form, and so you just add a capful to like a gallon of water, and so it's expensive as well, but it lasts forever. I purchased my first one probably 2 years ago, and I finally just had to reorder one like last week because it lasted that long, and I treat fairly often. As you may have seen a second ago, I typically fill my metal smaller watering cans with the gooseneck spouts, and I use those to water because those smaller spouts are easier to get into my smaller pots, and I don't risk a big rush of water and then having a giant mess. Then when those run out, I use the 2-gallon size watering cans to then refill my smaller ones. And then I just take it back to the sink and do it all over again. Typically, I have to make 3 or 4 runs to the sink if it's a really dry day of watering, like everything needs it. I only had to do it twice today though, because half the plants are in the kitchen and they'll get watered here in a little while when we treat them for spider mites. into this continuous spray bottle. I actually bought a smaller one for my hair and I love it. You have to pump it like at least half as often as a regular spray bottle, so it really saves your hands from cramping, and it has a finer mist too, so it just gets in all those little crevices. Here I noticed that this leaf was yellowing when I was cleaning out my cabinet, and I also noticed some speckly little dots, and so I think the yellowing is from being underwater because it's in a very shallow pot, but all those dots on the back that you see there, that is spider mite damage, and I did find a few live spider mites that I could kind of pick out. I do typically treat and pre-treat my plants with Azamax by pouring it into the watering cans every time I water, but I actually hadn't done it for a while. And then, like I said, I went out of town and things didn't get watered like they typically do. So I think it was just a combination of I hadn't treated or pre-treated for a while. It was near something else with spider mites. So that's why I took everything out of the cabinet, and that's why I'm treating everything here that you see. Because if it is on one plant, it's going to be on the ones around it, especially if they're touching. And so just to be safe, I decided to take all of the ones out of the cabinet, and that just gave me a good excuse to clean the cabinet anyway. So we're just treating. I really only truly saw spider mite evidence on just like 3 plants that were all on that same shelf together, but better safe than sorry. So I'm just gonna sit here and treat all of them. I also needed to go in and really prune some of the dead leaves. I'll just give them a nice fresh haircut, give it a fresh start, and they'll grow back in no time. Plants are pretty resilient. While trimming and watering these, I noticed that my rattlesnake calathea, the one in the right hand back corner, typically has been a pretty healthy plant, had a lot of yellow leaves that I had to trim off, but the leaves didn't really have any evidence of mite damage or any pest damage whatsoever. And so I started to suspect there was a root issue, and then when I gave it a good watering, the smell hit my nose like a train. It smelled disgusting. So it definitely has root rot. So sometime this week I need to take it out of the pot it's in, get all of the soil off as best I can using like the sprayer on the hose. You really don't want to mess with the roots too much. So I'll spray all that soil off. I will snip off any dead rotted roots. They look black and slimy. And then I will soak the root ball in a solution of 50% water, 50% hydrogen peroxide, and that will kill any of the bacteria that lives in the soil that actually causes the root rot. And then I'll put it in a freshly cleaned pot with brand new soil, and just kind of keep an eye on it. But root rot is not the end of the world if you catch it early, but it definitely can cause plant death. So it is not fun to deal with, but it is treatable.
Oh, that was a close one. See, this is why I don't like these little flimsy ones.
Is the one that had the evidence of spider mites. While I was cleaning it, I didn't actually see any spider mites themselves, so this one did have it in the past. It's kind of a magnet for them, so I think I maybe just didn't nip off some of the damaged leaves because I couldn't find any evidence of like recent ones, but I just wanted to treat it thoroughly just in case. This plant was a little bit too tall for this sink, so typically what I would do for my bigger plants is throw them in the shower and spray them down that way, but I didn't feel like cleaning Azamax out of the kitchen and out of the bathroom, so I just made it work.
As you can see, it is now dark outside because I had to take a little break because my camera memory was full and my phone battery was about to die, so I had to wait about an hour to unload all of the video I just took, let it charge, and it actually worked out fine because all of these that I just sprayed need time to kind of dry so that when I put them back in the glass cabinet they don't drip kind of that milky stuff all over the place after I just clean the shelves. So it's okay, we're just gonna get it done tonight because I don't want to mess with this tomorrow. So let's keep going.
I knew that I was going to rearrange a few of the smaller potted plants on my table by my shelf, so this is me just trying to decide where to put what and making sure it looks not cluttered, but I can fit enough in there. The deciding where things go part is what takes me the longest because I'm very particular. I decided to go ahead and just treat the plants on the shelf and the table because they were near the one gray star plant that I knew had spider mites in the past. This tetrasperma here, the one on the tall pole, is a magnet also. And so just to be safe, this shelf really has some of my more expensive, more rare plants. And so I really don't want a pest issue with those. So I'm just going to go ahead and treat them preemptively just to make sure that they stay nice and healthy and pest free. I'm glad I treated because this also has some little spots that indicate spider mite damage. This tetrasperma really should have gone in the shower. I kept kinking my hose line so the water would stop, and I made a huge mess out on my countertops. So next time, she's going in the shower. I found some more little speckly dots that indicate spider mite damage, so guess who's going to treat all of the ones that just came off the shelf? while moving my tetrasperma, I accidentally broke the tallest vine off, so I snipped it and plucked it back in the soil. It'll regrow, but I was kind of sad, but also it was getting a little crazy, so it's fine. No one judge me because I live in a small house, so every space is a storage space. So under this plant table here in the corner is where I keep extra moss poles and plant supplies, as well as my canning supplies. So my pressure canner, my ball jars, my canning lids, all of that. It's all stored under here. So once the chair is back, you can't really tell, but that's where we're at for now. Alright, one final vacuum just to get any dirt or anything off the floor, and I think that's it.
Alright guys, it is 2 o'clock in the morning. I just want to give you the end result. We've been working all afternoon, but I'm actually really pleased with how it turned out. The cabinet is all clean, everything is watered. A lot of things were treated for spider mites, some were just in case, but better safe than sorry. The desk is cleaned, and my shelf and table over here have been rearranged. And yeah, I am hot, I'm sweaty, and I'm tired. So I will give you a better, quick little tour in the morning when it's daylight. But I'm gonna go to bed now. Night, guys. Good morning, guys. Here is a daytime tour of everything I did in the plant room yesterday. I'm gonna try and get back here to show you what's back here. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Everything looks pretty good up here. Haven't decided if I like this yet. It's a little cluttered, but for now that's where they fit. I do need to get into these and get some of the dead leaves out still, but I lost energy last night. And then here's our shelf. That's a propagation station. So yeah, we did it, guys. I am so excited I finally get to sit in here and relax, which was kind of the whole point of this room. So I'm gonna do that today. Thank you guys so much for following me on my journeys, and I hope that I see you again soon. Go ahead, like, subscribe, all that, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.